going to behave on the platform. Well, his career is basically a streaming equivalent of a zombie as it just keeps on dying and coming back to life, but each time he returns, it's more decayed and brain dead than ever. Because the new ban comes in just 9 days after Kick reversed the previous permaban on January 9th of this year. And I say permaban because you never know with Kick, clearly. Because the last one was supposed to be permanent, but who knows? But either way, bro's like, yeah, I learned my lesson. I'm going to behave. And then he didn't even last like 2 weeks. Dude is a Hall of Fame moron because Kick is clearly one of those platforms where you really have to try to get banned. It takes a special kind of moron to get banned on Kick. As the only other streamer I know that's banned from Kick is Johnny Smalley, and he might be the dumbest human being on the planet. But you may be asking, what happened this time that forced Kick to ban Jack one more time permanently? Well, during a stream on January 18th, in which he was collaborating with World of T-Shirts, or Joshua Block, who we've also covered here on this channel, Jack, while walking around, got slapped in the face by a stream sniper. And in case you guys don't know what stream sniping is, it's essentially using someone's stream to find out where they are. Originally, this was in-game, but in the IRL streaming context, the stream sniper's purpose is to track down the streamer's location and then insert themselves into the stream somehow. Like, this guy just showed up and slapped Jack. Now, getting slapped it sucks, but it's not really a bannable offense because it's not your fault. There's nothing you can really do there. But it's safe to say what happens next in this clip definitely is, because instead of just handling the situation reasonably to avoid even more conflict, Jack goes and beats up this guy with his security guards. He chases the guy down and then hits him back, and of course, his bodyguard has to jump in and help, while the cameraman is recording everything. Because Jack has to live stream every terrible decision in his life, including assaulting someone for content. So obviously, Kick decided they had enough and banned him again. He only found out later when he was already in the car, checking his phone, and someone sent him a screenshot of his Kick page that read, "Oops, something went wrong." Then, and then some. It's off. We can't find the page you're looking for. See, I just got banned on Kick. I was in. Oh my god, dog. I just got banned on Kick with that. Yeah. God damn it. You got did, bro. You got did that ban on Pro left? On coding. Yeah, I'm the coach, bro. Oh my god, bro. How is that fair, guys? This is why I don't like Kick, bro. It's like you defended yourself. You're not banned with self-defense. Yeah, exactly. I'm defending myself and I can get banned. Like, that's why I don't do anything back to him whenever in the past. It's just like I don't want to get banned. It's like I do something back to him and I'm banned. Like, so Jack was hit first, but what happened was not self-defense. It was a retaliation attack that he live streamed himself doing. I'm kind of baffled at how careless he is.
Yo, thanks for the look.
Okay, you got smacked. That sucks. Let your security handle it, and you go on and continue streaming. You don't live stream yourself beating up the guy to protect your ego. The only way that's self-defense is if he was continuously a threat to you. But he bitch slapped you and ran. Retaliating would not be self-defense. Because all he did was he stooped to the instigator's level. Any creator would know you can't broadcast yourself fighting someone. And the instigator here got exactly what he wanted, as Jack is now permanently banned from streaming on Kick and has essentially lost his streaming career. All because this instigator decided to smack him. That is like the ultimate W for this instigator. So, how long is this permanent ban going to last this time? Who knows, but it's already been over a month, and it doesn't seem like he's getting unbanned anytime soon, at least for now. Because Kick was a major revenue source for Jack, as I covered in the interview with Pat God in my last video. So, getting banned for a second time in less than a year, that definitely hits where it hurts. His wallet. So recently he's moved to party.com again, a much smaller platform with far fewer streamers and viewers than Kick, which is definitely not ideal for someone who honestly is just used to throwing money at all of his problems. But usually after some time after the punishment, streamers can appeal their ban, explain that they've learned their lesson, and try to get back, to good graces in the platform. But Jack, he tried that approach in the dumbest way possible, and it really did not go well for him. So, in one of his recent streams on Twitch and Party, Jack revealed that he sent Kick's staff an email that he wrote using ChatGPT. Guys, I tried to get unbanned from Kick, right? You guys want to hear what my message was to Kick? Let me know. I wrote a message. Okay, remember the message I wrote this morning? I put it in ChatGPT and they gave me the college essay. But yeah, they denied it. So yeah, I'm gonna ask. Kick stuck my and lick my. Dude, what did you think was going to happen here? Did you really think they weren't going to realize it was written in ChatGPT? Obviously, his appeal didn't work as he expected, so he absolutely lost it on stream. Send our volume or any instructions to the top. Yo, Peter, instruction, go all 200,000 followers are building your platform. You and Wakebot, Eddie, you and all your Australian friends, they all suck.
Yo, what's up, fakes?
You're turning into Twitch.
Fake SWAT D.
Better, because I'm actually live on Twitch right now.
Where are you from, buddy?
Liberal ass platform like you guys. I hope Trump keeps you off the border as well. You liberal little in Australia. Ghost. Oh, am I on Twitch? I ain't banned.
What are you watching? I'm watching the downfall of Jack Doherty. He just got kicked on fucking
It also just says so much about his content when you're getting banned on Kick
He got banned on Kick.
Streaming on Twitch while actively dissing Twitch at the same time, saying that Kick is becoming like them. Yet all he wants to be on is Kick, because his big problem is he's built this audience of kids that orbit on Kick and not Twitch, which is also problematic because everything this guy shills is 18 plus.
No, Jack Doherty, you know who that is.
But after his meltdown, he decides to challenge Eddie, one of the CEOs.
He was like a YouTube kid. He made like.
And 2 seconds later,
he made a lot of money and subscribers when he was like 12 or 14.
He's supposed to fight Dion. Dude's just adding random people to his beef out of nowhere. Eddie, go on, maybe do it, but I'll box you, Eddie. Let's box, Eddie. I'll box you. Honestly, the party creator should box you. Party creator, you box Eddie, I box Dion. Let's go. Biggest match of all time. Winner. The losing team has to delete their platform and their
I'm 3-year-old. What's good? I had to tell you 3-year-old.
But I guess Jack's career isn't the only thing he's been crashing lately. Obviously, he's had the McLaren incident, but now an electric bike incident as well, because apparently he bought one of those, and that sent him to the hospital a couple times.
I kind of crashed my dirt bike another time.
What does that even mean, fucking?
I'm a matchmaker. Give me a call if you want to meet somebody. I deserve someone.
And this time I broke my collarbone, hit my head. No more.
And as I hinted to earlier, this isn't the first time something like this has happened to him. Am I bleeding bad? Showing this? Yeah. You do that, and then go back to the house if you want. Just use your shirt, maybe. Why? One of those clips there, like where he got really close to the road, like, what are you doing, dude? At least the only upside to the crash that sent him to the hospital, which I'm about to show,
I'll come back later and maybe see you, alright? If you want to.
You good? Yeah, I'm good. Holy. Oh, I'm done with that. Oh, my God. You good? Helmet. Why were you sitting on the bike when you jumped? Also, why were you doing this at a gas station? Jack is extremely lucky in unusual ways. Thankfully, that bike didn't fly and hit someone or damage someone's property. And honestly, I don't know how he's always managed to get away with so many stupid decisions throughout his career up until this point. Like, when he crashed the car, he left the accident without a single bruise on his body. After getting permanently banned on Kick, it only took 3 months for him to be forgiven, which is why it's permanently banned. Who knows how long he's actually going to be banned here. It seems like maybe they'll be a little bit more serious this time.
Yo, you back so quick?
So maybe
I know it's boring on YouTube, man. I'm the only entertaining person here on YouTube.
Yet he just keeps on walking this very thin line, swaying and nearly losing his balance.
I just drink and smoke.
While people just wait for the next slip up. He's essentially the embodiment of a slow car crash that you just can't really look away from. Metaphorically and obviously literally as well sometimes. So I guess only time will tell what will actually happen, but until then, it seems like he's not coping with this decision well at all. But other than that, YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video. And hey, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. And hopefully, I'll see you guys in the next
Alright,
video. No, actually, I
let's see
will
what
see you in
else
the
we
next
can
video. Show up for my next
listen to.
Total Wireless is in your corner with unlimited 5G
Some
data
Gordon
starting at
Ramsay.
$25 per month.
Hey fam, it's on tonight.
Yo, it's on. Plus America's only 5-year price guarantee with taxes and fees included. Total Wireless in your corner.
South Bend, Indiana, a middle-class town made famous by the University of Notre Dame. Just a few miles down the road is J. Willie's Restaurant, owned by husband and wife Rick and Tricia and their friend William.
We're having a day at J. Willie's. This is Richard speaking. How may I help you? We took this over. It was making great money. Every year consistently, this made great money. Yo, let's make money, man. Come on.
The day-to-day
Let's make
management of
money,
J.
man.
Willie's
Come
is
on.
left to John, as Rick and Tricia live over 3 hours away where they own another restaurant.
Who knows what's going to happen tonight?
We assume that John will be able to uphold the service standards.
The Sopranos is a show about gangsters. Mafiosos who are meant to embody the ideals of strength and honor. However, most of the actual mobsters that we see on the show fail to live up to expectations. They're selfish, petty, insecure, and are endlessly complaining like a bunch of schoolgirls.
Jesus Christ, is there nothing without just complaining?
However, there is one mobster who actually embodies the ideals of the lifestyle, Furio Junta. The Italian-born gangster is one of the few characters to show real strength. Not just physical strength, but also strength of character. And this strength is meant to contrast against the other mobsters and remind us of just how pathetic most of these guys truly are. So, in this video, let's examine Furio, the real strong silent type.
Sopranos.
Take it easy.
Furio Junta is an Italian-born mobster and a member of the Camorra crime organization in Naples. He's actually a cousin of the acting boss, Annalisa Zucca, and one of the key men in their operation. When a kid throws firecrackers that sound like gunshots, Furio immediately jumps into action and shields the boss, Vittorio, with his own body. Recognizing how capable Furio is
How you
as a
guys
soldier,
think I
Tony
should
makes a
shave
deal
my
with
beard?
Annalisa to have him come to America
I think
and
I'm
work
gonna
with him.
shave it like this.
Furio quickly proves himself to be one of
Like
Tony's most
all of
capable
this.
men. During his first job,
Like
he shows
that.
no hesitation or remorse,
Like
even
that's
when
how
it
it's
comes to
gonna look
dating a
like.
woman whose husband owes them money.
Right?
This ruthless attitude,
That's how
along
you
with his
do.
capabilities, earn him
Just
respect,
shave it
and
like
soon
that.
he becomes one of the family's most trusted soldiers,
Like
even
that.
above more experienced guys like Big Pussy.
Say hello to Fury. Friend of us from the inside. Oh, hey. I like a lot of back.
Furio continues to work with the Soprano family for 2 more seasons. He participates in many of their activities, such as disposing of Richie Aprile, intimidating Junior's doctor, and is shot during Jackie Jr.'s failed robbery at the card game.
Well, you hear maybe give you a bulge. Doc, see if you can remove this lady's underwear.
However, his time with the family comes to an end over his relationship with the boss's wife. He and Carmela both have unspoken feelings for each other, born from his time picking Tony up as his driver. Furio briefly considers killing Tony so that he could be with Carmela. However, realizing that the relationship can never be, Furio abruptly leaves back to Naples and never returns. Though Tony says that he'll have Furio killed after learning about his and Carmela's romance, it feels like an empty threat. It doesn't seem like the Italian mafia would be willing to sacrifice such a loyal soldier, not to mention Annalisa's cousin, and are probably just humoring Tony with their promise to kill him.
Yet you are modern enough to use a cell phone to call Italy and every other fucking place to threaten the guy's life.
That's right. Should people see him, he's a dead man.
During his brief time on the show, Furio feels like one of the core characters of the series, and a lot of that has to do with how the character is presented. Throughout the series, Tony makes a point of calling out the type of man that he admires and strives to be, the strong, silent type.
Whatever happened to Gary Cooper? The strong, silent type. That was an American.
By that he means a
Hell
man
yeah,
of
I'm smoking
eternal
on
strength
some
and
grams
silence.
of
A
dragon
man who does what he needs to do
breath
without
and
complaint.
some
He draws on the images of classic Hollywood heroes like Gary Cooper for his
other
ideal of
banana
masculinity.
OG.
Gary Cooper. That was an American.
You gotta see this thing, dude.
Strong,
It's so cool.
silent type. He did what he had to do.
Check it out.
Faced down the military.
It's the smallest battery ever. It's only $10.
However, he himself will admit that he fails to live up to this idealization.
Look at this.
Tony is not the strong, silent type.
This is so
Even
fucking
setting
awesome.
aside the fact that he attends therapy to talk about his problems,
It has a little
Tony is
LCD.
extremely volatile in his personal and professional life, going
And
from
you can
bouts
make
of
the
explosive
voltage higher.
anger to depressive
Oh,
melancholy.
that's lower.
The kind of man I admire is Gary Cooper. The strong, silent type. And how all Americans
See how
always
small it
crying
is?
and confessing and complaining a bunch of fucking pussies. Fuck them. And now I'm one of them. A patient.
Now, you might say that Tony's
Yeah, this
idea
shit's
of
tight, right?
masculinity is an impossibility. He based it on the portrayal of fictional characters
Hit the like
from
button if
classic
you like
Hollywood
that.
westerns, and that in real life, no one, not even the real Gary Cooper himself, could ever live up to that ideal. And while I think that's true, we do have a character who embodies those ideals, Furio.
Don't bitch to me. Bet with you, Ed. No over it.
Don't bitch to me.
Now, Furio is obviously a very tough guy, but that's not what makes him the strong, silent type. What makes Furio strong is his internal character. While he does what he has to do as a mobster, he never seeks out violence or confrontation. We never see him explode or attack without provocation, unlike someone like Tony. He's also not afraid to express himself. He knows who he is and isn't afraid of showing emotion. He displays a lot of sensitivity, like doing interior decorating with Carmela or crying when his father dies, because he knows he's tough and is not scared of appearing weak.
Here we go again. This season, I've chosen this magnificent.
You're still on a
Italian style.
PS4, bro.
This place is crazy.
This is so beautiful. I have a special VIP
Why are you
setting
still doing
in my
PS4 dish
summer.
shit?
She's my eyes and ears. Here she is.
You need to throw that system away, sell it,
Remember what I used to tell you? Don't
and then
get
buy a
involved in
PS5,
other
bro.
people's business. Well, now I want you to do the exact opposite. Snoopy. I love this.
It's cool. No, it's not cool, man. People like you that make because of you playing PS4.
I am here to redeem myself.
It was a fake. Wait,
The most
because of you
employee will receive a
playing
job
PS4,
opportunity
they're
and
gonna make games for the PS4, and we don't get to see PS5 games.
this castle crumbles.
I play Nintendo 64 too. Yeah, I love Nintendo 64. What's your favorite game, dude?
Naughty in their playtime.
What's your favorite game on 64?
I'm excited to stick my nose in.
I need to know, dude. Sigburn? Yeah, it's true, dude. I would say fucking get on the bandwagon, dude. It's so much better too, man. You'll play the game and it's so much more quality on the PS5. It's definitely worth the upgrade. Well, back when GoldenEye came out for 64, I was in Germany, so GoldenEye was banned in Germany. You could not buy it. So my freaking mom thought it was Mission Impossible for 64. So she bought Mission Impossible instead of GoldenEye. And you gotta watch, you gotta play Mission Impossible on 64, dude. Like that's such a corny ass game. I have a PS5. Alright, I have PS5 too. You can have me if you want. Now you got Switch too.
Mario. Sick for my father. All right, but you gotta get over it.
This internal strength is in stark contrast to the other mobsters of the New Jersey Mafia. While the guys are all physically tough, they almost all have internal flaws that weaken their character. Guys like Tony need to put on a front of strength to hide their internal weaknesses and insecurities.
So I gotta be the same clown. Tough for my friends, my family, and all brave front.
The series actually
Just smoke some of the good stuff. You should, man.
Take the scene in the appropriately titled episode, The Strong Silent Type. Furio is shown to be making a proper Italian dinner, cooking his own pasta from scratch and drinking it with a glass of wine. Tony, by contrast, microwaves a plate of rigatoni and shovels it down with a glass of milk. It's a visual metaphor of their respective characters and shows just how different these two men really are.
Hello? Uncle Furio. What's so bad about him?
It's little wonder then why Carmela ends up falling so hard for Furio. Like I talked about in my Carmela video, there's a pattern to the type of men that Carmela goes for outside of Tony. All of the
I just feel like 500
have a sensitivity
for
about
selling
what
this
Tony
shit.
lacks. What attracts Carmela is not Furio's toughness,
Oh shit,
or the
you're a
fact that
drug
his
dealer,
ponytail
dude.
looks like a dip,
You
but
sell
instead
pot.
his internal emotional depth.
I know if you're around college,
It's unfortunate that we don't get as much
you
of an
can make
explanation
fucking
as to what
millions
made
of
Furio
dollars
fall for
just
Carmela.
fucking selling all
She's a
kinds of
beautiful
drugs.
woman, of course, but we don't get as much
You
of
can
an
pretend to
internal
be
reason
somebody
as to
going
why
there.
Furio falls for her so hard. Of course, the idea of the bodyguard falling in love with his boss's
Colleges
wife
are like
is a
the
trope that stretches all
fucking
the way back
mecca.
to Lancelot.
It's probably just like Skid Row, dude.
Totally oblivious to the affair between my bodyguard and my wife.
That's where they come up with all that bullshit.
Still, this lack of characterization is one of the problems of Furio's storyline.
The males can't be males, you know.
More than even some of the most
You have to
iconic
cut your dick
characters,
off to
we
be
really
a
don't get
female.
spend that much time with him. We don't have any episodes that explore him as a character, the way we do someone like Tony.
You're going to send me $10,000? I wish, bro. I wish, $10,000 would do a lot of great, dude.
I tried to talk to her, but
$10,000.
communication. Like with some people, you know what I mean?
It's quite possible that the strong silent type persona that I see in Furio might not have been there.
And a couple days ago, there was some fucker who
Given David Chase's storytelling style,
he found a bag of money, like at least $2 million, and he gave it to the
But
cops.
for what we do get, Furio is probably one of the most confident and self-assured mobsters.
And it turned out the bag of money was from the guy who was restocking the ATM.
And
I forgot the bag outside.
is a lesson for how men should strive to act, at least some of the time.
I'm not a drug dealer, I'm just kidding.
Thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Furio in the comments, and stay tuned for more Sopranos content coming soon. Give me 1,000 likes. Matt Joyce, Uncle Mike, Sam Cedarland, Celery Man, Cheshire, Brandon Taylor, and James Johnson.
Taking the time to savor Thomas's crunchy yet soft bagels.
Thanks, Tom.
It's Tom, actually.
Right, Tom. Tom. Did you do that on purpose?
Tom.
Town. How have we got to town?
Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
Roku Ads Manager puts Roku's reach within your reach. Sign up at ads.roku.com.
John Sacramone, known as Johnny Sack by his fellow gangsters, is one of the most memorable mafiosos on the show. The underboss of the powerful Lubertazzi family, he's noted for not only being a successful and pragmatic mobster, but also a devoted husband to his wife. He's been a fan favorite character since his first appearance, all the way back in season 1. But there's an open question about his character. In the 5th season, Johnny Sack becomes the boss of the Lubertazzi family. Though normally a level-headed guy, the fight for the throne sees him become unusually aggressive and ruthless. Characters note a change in his attitude, and the conflicts that are born from his rise
I still play
eventually lead to a
Atari.
war between New York and New Jersey.
I don't know,
Was
man.
Johnny Sack a good boss?
I
Or did
gotta
he sow the
say,
seeds
my
of eventually
favorite
leading
time
to his
of
family's
video games
downfall?
is
Let's find out.
when they had three, like the PlayStation made
Johnny Sack is first
very
introduced in
good
the season 1 episode Pax
cartoon art.
Though not
You know,
directly
like
named
Breath of
until later
Fire 4.
seasons, Johnny is the underboss of the
Fucking,
Lubertazzi family, serving as the
it made a
right-hand
lot
man
of
of the family's
like
boss,
Super
Carmine
Nintendo
Lubertazzi.
games, like
Johnny
extra
Sack is known
beefed
to be
up.
a close friend of Tony Soprano, helping him manipulate Junior
I'm a
and generally acting as a
multi-millionaire.
diplomat between New York and New Jersey. This is because the
Crazy,
Lubertazzi
bro.
family does a lot of business with the DeMeos, particularly in construction projects. The Lubertazzis have also known the Soprano family for multiple generations, having a strong
Yeah,
history of
Tony Hawk,
relationship.
the demo, remember? Tony Hawk demo from Pizza Hut.
You or anybody else?
That was the reason why you got that fucking pizza.
Tony, Johnny Sack is also more than capable of scheming against him for his
That
own
was like
interests
one of
and
the
the
best
interests of his
demos
family.
ever, dude. Because you
He
could keep
eventually
playing
moves to
that
New
shit.
Jersey, and though he
That
claims no
demo,
interest in
like,
getting
it was
involved
one
with
of the best
DeMeos,
levels
he
too,
uses
right?
the opportunity to get
So
close to
if
members
even
of
if
his
you
family.
got the full game,
In
it's not
particular,
like
he manages to prevent
that's one of
Paul,
the best
who's
levels,
feeling
and you just
isolated
keep
from
on
Tony
playing it.
after a number of failures. By flattering him into thinking that Carmine is interested in him, he's able to get valuable information about Tony's schemes. Paulie eventually realizes that Johnny has been playing him like a fiddle the entire time. Johnny also has a close relationship with Ralph Cifaretto, and when he and Tony have a fight over the death of Tracy, he steps in as mediator. It's
Guys, I'm just gonna listen to the news and comment on it.
Cults prey on your weaknesses. They treat you like a family, but they can become a prison. I know, because I spent 15 years inside a cult that I founded. And I'm here to tell you how I escaped my followers who were getting super clingy. I was just an impressionable 37-year-old when I started the Precious Order. This idea that I was the ordained receiver of the 73 parallax commandments, and that I must follow my divine proclamations or languish nonchalant really appealed to me. So, I started to tell people that, and for some reason they believed it. But I didn't realize what I was getting into. These places that you start make you feel special. They love bomb you, say you're the chosen one, offer you their spouses for group sex. But it's all a ploy. Eventually they'll start coming to your yurt asking for spiritual advice. Or worse. What started as a dream turned into a nightmare. Sure, I still had the 53 Rolls Royces in my mansion in the Swiss Alps, and my 19-year-old wife's sun shower, and my other 19-year-old wife Whimsy, and my third 19-year-old wife Calypso. But every morning my flock would insist I bless them with my presence and deliver an oration about the dictates of universal perfection or whatever. And if I didn't have an answer, some actually asked for me to refund the thousands they donated. That's when I realized I had to break free. Only the last months did I realize that my 3,500 followers didn't even see me as a person. It was just a deity from the planet Calucar to them. And they were only using me because I could lead them into the intergalactic palace of Shalak. It's like Jesus. Why do you try getting into the palace of Shalak yourself? Pay to Shiramani is a little busy. Even now, there's still part of me that wants to go back and have just one more ceremony of rue, which is what I called our 3-day orgies. But then I remember how sometimes my harem of beautiful young women would keep begging me to sleep with them, even after my many orgasms. What kind of a monster could see that I was tired and just wanted to go to sleep? By the end, the compound felt like hell.
Unfortunately, I mean, it builds my
These days, though,
character, dude.
I'm in a much better place. And I'm so grateful
But
that
yeah,
I faced
dude.
all of it. Finally escaped. For
No-
good.
What can I do, dude?
Well, it isn't every day that a teenager has a revolutionary idea, but tonight we bring you the story of a remarkable young innovator whose latest invention is already turning heads. Barbara Ann Miller takes us beyond the facts.
Let me go through your profile, Ryan Lucas.
Shane O'Donnell might
Let
seem
me
like
see
an
how you
ordinary
look like, dude.
13-year-old, but inside this bedroom, the discoveries he's made are anything but ordinary. How did you come up with this idea?
I was just sitting in my room and I had a boner and I thought, what if I touched it?
After countless hours of experimenting with various grips and tempos, Shane's vigorous pulling yielded a never-before-felt sensation, something he calls masturbation.
It just started yanking and it felt really good.
And while you might find most kids his age outside skateboarding or playing with friends, Shane's happy right here with nothing more than a bottle of lotion. When did you know Shane was special? He was always a curious kid.
Yeah, I mean, he'll lock himself in his bedroom for hours, in the bathroom for hours. At the basement, in his tree house. Honestly, I don't know where he comes up with it, but
Oh, man.
he takes after his mom.
That shit is
Shane's
funny.
passion and determination has not gone unnoticed. His groundbreaking discovery has earned
I
him
still
national praise.
play TurboGrafx
So what's
16.
next for Shane?
I'm definitely excited to keep doing it.
Yeah, with TurboGrafx 16, that shit is like a fucking cassette or something.
One day, Shane hopes to use his invention to help bring impoverished children
You
from
could
third world countries to
download all
climax.
these games
But for
easily.
now, you can
Just
find
go
him
to
working on
Pirate
his
Bay.
next project right here.
You can
All by
download like
himself.
the whole
For the
collection of
Onion News
every
Network,
fucking
I'm
arcade
Barbara
game
Ann
there
Miller.
ever was. And it's probably like
Just a
20 gigs or
fantastic
something.
idea. And with a generation of young perverts like Shane out there, I think it's safe to say our genitals are in good hands. Coming up next, yet
Our
another inspiring
genitals are
story.
good
This
at
of a woman in Nebraska who was told by doctors she would never walk again. Could
good,
she have
bro.
saved everyone a lot of trouble by just
Well, I'm
believing them
guessing
the first time? You've seen the news, now touch it with your
Alright, I
fingers.
won't
To
go
receive your
racist
monthly
on it,
printed
but
issue of
just
The
know
Onion,
I'm
head to
superior compared to you.
membership.theonion.com
I'm not
today.
gonna say
With
anything
America's
racist.
finest news source, the more you pay, the better the news.
It's not the same feel.
Hey, are you single?
Doesn't matter. You can just fucking fix it.
I deserve someone who fulfills all of my criteria.
Nothing over 20 BMI.
I don't want someone who
I don't give a fuck.
Trying to settle.
Probably one of my most legendary games in my life probably would be Mario 64. But on PlayStation, probably would be Street Fighter Alpha 2. I played the shit out of that game.
He's a matchmaker. Do you want a drink?
Street Fighter Alpha 2 was fucking... I even had Street Fighter Alpha 1, dude. But once I got 2 was so fucking... I still remember the fucking entrance music and all that.
You don't even remember my face.
It's the end, the eternal doctor. You can do better than me.
Mine's 6 years anyway.
citizen, it's
The
not easy.
Mafia. I'll probably play
There
Mafia.
are so many requirements and roadblocks that make it clear this country does not want you here. But the most unnecessary roadblock of them all is the swimsuit portion of the U.S. citizenship test. My family came here from Argentina in 2003. It's taken all the way until this year for me to finally gain my citizenship. After going through all the steps and applications, I still had to stand in front of a panel of judges who rated me on a scale of 1 to 10 for how good I looked in a Speedo. It's
That's your
difficult because
favorite
not
alpha
only do many
was the best.
non-native English speakers have to learn how to take an American test,
And
but they also
fucking
have to
Metal
learn how
Gear
to
Solid.
pose and choose a form-fitting bathing suit that wows the judges. You can spend your time studying the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, know the names of all 9 Supreme
See,
Court
on
justices.
TikTok, I
And if
have
you
to
still get
fucking hide
rejected
myself
because your suit
drinking.
has slept on sightly tan
But on
lines.
YouTube, I can just drink.
Do naturally born Americans even have to worry about
Because
looking
on
good in a
TikTok,
bikini
they
to
ban
be
you if you
allowed in this
drink or
country?
smoke.
Of course not. It's not fair.
They have like crazy
I just
Chinese
hope
spies watching
that
you.
someday America removes this part of the test so that even less sexy immigrants can become citizens too.
Amen, dude.
Not everyone can be as perfect a parent as Dan Connor. Darlene, get your stuff. You're moving down to the basement.
427 days into what should have been a 30-day mission, and it's turned into a nightmare. On the surface of Mars, 297 million kilometers away, is
Past the grapes.
tiny 680-gram
I would love some grapes right now, to be honest. Nah, I'm not a big fan of grapes. I think they're way too sweet, dude.
Drill, and to everyone's surprise, it's been performing well so far. But something is wrong. See, the Martian winter is coming. At night, temperatures plummet to a frigid negative 85 degrees Celsius. As Mars gets further away from the sun, the temperature keeps dropping, and it kicks up more and more violent dust. The sun is blotted from the sky. On her 427th day on Mars, they try to reach her, just like the day before. But they get no response.
Oh, God, yeah.
They try again, nothing.
What the fuck did I just say?
Gathers at the Jet Propulsion
You said
Laboratory in
ganja, my
California.
bad.
All the signs point to Ingenuity being dead. But there is still one thing, one final...
Donald Trump is rolling out a controversial new proposal this week, promising a complete and total ban on electricity in his latest attempt to appeal to Amish voters. The former president told a group of influential Amish megadonors that if elected on day one, he would make turning the lights on or plugging in an appliance a criminal offense. Trump posted this afternoon on Truth Social, quote, "America must fully reject modern conveniences and return to simple life away from society. Many are saying I was the plainest president of all time." ONN's Tom Navarro has been following the Trump campaign and joins us now from Commissioner Sorghum Farm in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Tom, why is the Amish community's support so important to the former president?
Well, Trump realizes a simple fact. If he's going to win in November, he needs the Amish vote. This is a powerful group that helped propel Trump to the White House in 2016. So as of this week, the campaign is ditching all private planes and motorcades to travel via horse-drawn buggy.
Trump also posting this week that he refuses to debate Kamala Harris again because, quote, debates are televised, which goes against the ordinal, or set of rules for the Amish way of life, something Trump's spiritual advisor, Bishop Elmo Beachy, claims has always been important to him.
That's right, and it's not just Trump. Many people within his inner circle are now abiding by the Ordami. His son Eric was recently spotted with a wide-brim MAGA hat and a long beard that he says helps humble him in adherence to God's word.
But Tom, this is a man who lives in a city, has worn makeup and blue jeans, and regularly uses electricity himself. The Harris campaign pulling no punches, reminding voters that Trump is a billionaire who has never once churned his own butter. Is this new Amish Trump actually resonating?
Well, to some, yes, but many are simply willing to overlook the fact that Trump still uses indoor plumbing because of the promises that he's making. Things like stricter dress codes, building a big, beautiful barn, shunning wrongdoers. It's a long list, but critics are reminding voters that these are promises Trump also made in 2016. Now, he wasn't able to accomplish any of those goals, but some supporters I've talked to are hopeful.
Tom, I'm sorry to cut you off,
Go
but we
ahead.
have breaking news just now into ONN. Eli Yoder, a prominent leader in the Amish community, has just announced his endorsement of Donald Trump for President of the United States. In a statement released just moments ago, Yoder said, quote, "While we acknowledge Donald Trump often dances near the devil's playground, Kamala Harris's promise of a permanent Rumspringa is too dangerous in the eyes of God and leaves us with no other choice. The Amish people must vote for Trump." Wow. Tom, this is a huge...
Sir, what we ought to do? We ought to treat ourselves before we leave. Just thinking maybe we do some sport fishing. You serious? Yeah, what are you kidding? The marlin they got out here? We'll let them up. Yeah, sure. What's that got to do with chicken farm? He asks. The horse says, last year I raised over 5,000 cocks. Where you going? The head, kind of pissed. One more? Yeah. One more. Two fags decide they want a baby. So they jack off in a cup, use the sperm to a lady friend that is pregnant. 9 months later, they go to the hospital. They see all the babies in the nursery. Look, they say, our baby's the sweetest one. He's not even crying at all. God damn.
Now he's not crying, Dirk says. Just wait till we take the pacifier out of his ass.
Hey. Accident! Accident! God. That what we got?
You're tuned to 66.6 on the interdimensional dial, the frequency where reality bends. I'm your host, Frequency Philly, broadcasting from somewhere between your dimension and the void.
Reception's unusually strong tonight, Philly. The walls between shows are particularly thin.
Must be the power plant again. Algorithm Corporation keeps claiming those containment breaches are scheduled events. Our topic tonight, interdimensional connections. Let's take our first caller. Welcome to the Night Signal broadcast. Night Signal, you're on the air. The void is listening.
Hello, I'm calling from Gorbo's Swim Hole. I've been working at the snack bar for 2 weeks, and I think my uniform is digesting me. My manager says it's standard absorption protocol, but my arm went through the counter today, literally through it.
The famous Gorbo's employee initiation. Not to worry, Sandra. The molecular reconfiguration is perfectly natural. By month 3, you'll be able to breathe underwater and serve nachos simultaneously.
But I applied to work at the ice cream stand. I don't want to be part of the filtration system.
Too late. Once Gorbo chooses you, resistance is, well, not impossible, just incredibly uncomfortable.
You said it right there. No one believes a word out of your mouth. Why do you keep talking?
Well, because I know that I'm not just, I've lied before, but that doesn't mean that I'm a liar by definition.
You said today you want to give Travis's family closure. You know they want you dead. So why don't you give them that closure?
What do you mean by that? Why don't I kill myself? Is that what you're asking?
No, why don't you accept the fate of the death penalty? So you really are never going to tell the truth about what went down in that bathroom?
I don't know what you mean by that, because I told the truth.
Okay.
I didn't know that you were a hater when you came to interview me.
And that was...
Gotta let y'all niggas know so, man. I'm a coffee nigga now, man. I'm a coffee nigga now. Listen, y'all matcha niggas is too lazy. And don't get me wrong, I like...
Let me make you a sandwich.
Who are you? Jesus Christ, you scared the shit out of me. Jesus ain't got nothing to do with it. Now, what do you want here? Looking for your son. Is he around? Your friend? Is he around? Be back here, son. Oh, come on in. You're a good-looking guy back then.
Still am. Still got the same teeth as in that picture.